Welcome back to the CIS Minor Closed Qualifier for Katowice. I'm joined again by Tim Brainstorm Dunn. Are we starting to organise, educate you about the CIS scene a little bit more? You get excited, see some players you like?
I'm always excited. I love Counter-Strike, man. I'm happy to watch pretty much any game from any region, anywhere, because it's always just fun to see like what the different regions do. I remember ages ago, before I started casting with ESL, I was doing some online qualifier for a DreamHack, watching, I think it was a couple Indian teams. And for this particular matchup, it was on Dust 2, and both teams ran a single P90 every gun round.
Wow.
And so they'd have 4 players doing a default, and then the 2 P90s, one on each side, would push for info. So like, I remember there was one round where one P90 was pushing out long on the CT side, and the other T P90 was pushing up short or something. It was like,
was that like a specific strategy that they may have typed up in some kind of Microsoft program?
I don't know, man. There was obviously some sort of notes being taken, but it was really different, and that's what's always fun about doing these sorts of qualifiers, is seeing these different styles of CS. And for these teams, I mean, it wasn't so much a different style, but they're really, really good against each other, at least. They looked really organized on paper. forZe had so many rounds that felt like they were this close, and they just couldn't get them across the line.
These players are so much better at like the fundamentals, I feel like, than a lot of other regions, which is just what makes it so much more exciting to watch them. Like, they actually know how to play the game. Whereas, like, I feel like whenever I watch some of these, like other regions and stuff like that, you know...
You can just say the 3 letters we're all thinking of, mate. It's all right.
Look, it can be 3 letters or 2 letters. It depends how you abbreviate it, which is going to make it a little bit more, how do I say it?
Yeah, no direct flame here, guys.
No, definitely not. I'm not going to flame any region. But
no people from that region are watching because it's late.
Yeah, 100%.
No giveaways here.
But I mean, yeah, it's just refreshing to see some solid Counter-Strike. Unfortunately, I don't know how much longer that's going to continue when you head into a map like Nuke, because usually in these best-of-3 series, I'm used to seeing one team that's pretty good at Nuke and one team that's very, very bad at Nuke in these kind of qualifiers. And
yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be the kind of case for forZe. I don't know how experienced they are on the map, but I'm hoping for another fantastic game, because Mirage definitely didn't disappoint. I felt like that definitely could have gone the way of forZe a couple of rounds go a different way. But Spirit, they got that X factor. I feel like some of those individuals can definitely step up and make the impact to be able to actually turn that into rounds on the scoreboard.
I mean, for forZe, they had face crack just going off. Like, I'm pretty sure he finished on 32, 33 kills, somewhere like that. So
100%, yeah.
He certainly had a really good game for himself, but his teammates weren't quite able to step up with him. So moving into Nuke, I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them to have a good time here. This is Spirit's pick, so they should start on that CT side. But even so, if Spirit have a few 6 strats ready, like say they've got a pistol strat and then a gun round, or a couple gun round strats, that means they've got enough rounds that even if they only get 5 rounds, they could win pistol, then get a gun round or 2, and every single time just really ruin the CT's economy, and all of a sudden it's hard for forZe to get started. And then they're going up against Spirit's CT side, which again, they picked the map. It should be a pretty good one.
I mean, the T-side pistol is going to be so important for Spirit to win on a map like Nuke, because like it puts forZe in such a bad position. Like, you think about the way that new money works. If they don't force and they save for that next round, they have no utility to be able to hold stuff like uppers rushes, or to be able to like stop them from doing outside smokes and actually heading into secret and stall for time. Util is so important on CT side of Nuke. And not only that, but they're a team that's so heavily reliant on the AWPs, and if you get the T-pistol and you never get them an opportunity to get the economy rolling until maybe the midway point of the half, you really limit the amount of times that they can try to pick up those AWPs and get some freebies in terms of rounds and stuff like that. And they have a couple of different people who like to do that. I feel like a player like FaceCrack is going to be very, very important if he's able to be put in a position like that vent rotator, the Annex player. We can have him swinging all over the place, all around the map, making some good decisions and being a big thorn in the T side of Spirit. But if he's not put in a position like that and the responsibility is being given to somebody else, I don't know how I feel about these forZe players being able to play on the CT side of Nuke and hold up against some of these Spirit players, because the individual skill definitely goes the way of Spirit, and some of the riflers on forZe can really struggle to hold certain positions if they're being put under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them. I mean, on Mirage, speaking of player-to-player sort of frag sort of situations, pretty much both teams had the same sort of situation of 4 players doing well and 2 players having a rough one. It was Demo who wasn't having the most amount of success in terms of frag numbers, but pretty much all the kills that he got outside of pistol rounds were him sitting in ladder room on the T side and just cutting off rotations. Like, exactly, they were really impactful kills. And then
Nails in the coffin.
Yeah, and then Flit on the what we're assuming is a new player to this forZe team. Didn't have the greatest of games either, but fair enough. He's a new player. Could be a difficult one, but the ramp rush coming up. Team Spirit very, very quickly. Flit spots it, gets one shot of damage across, but it's not enough, and there's 4 players stacked on the upper bomb site. So Spirit, all they've got to do is get into ramp, get down that lower bomb site, but they're choosing to go outers instead. This is very gutsy. They go up into heaven. They're able to overwhelm. Face crack, that's a big player to take down, but all of these players are here on the upper bomb site. Coldy hits a critical one. Amaza getting overrun, and they're not able to recover these frags. The CTs are getting surrounded completely. The Ts have wrapped in through heaven. They're going through lobby. They've got the CTs boxed in completely. Amaza's trying to find his way out, looking for Sotfik, but that bomb now down. XC Power already outside. Got a long rotation to come back in, wants to come in through heaven, but this is going to be such a difficult round for them. They know that Sotfik's still lurking somewhere behind him, but they can't spot him. That gives him so much time to just chill out and be annoying. XC Power's going to try and get up into heaven, but I don't think he's going to have too much luck. And indeed, he will not. Coldy takes him down all onto Almar, so that was a nice shot. He could get the second one here as well. Now the 1v1. Some Die Young chilling out behind the silos. Almarza, not much time left. Has to try and make this play and will go down in the end. Works out for Team Spirit. A pretty chaotic pistol round, but they get it across the line. Nightmare
scenario here for forZe, unfortunately. That's going to make their economy very awkward for the rest of this CT side. They're not going to be able to get those AWPs rolling. I like the idea of force buying on a map like Nuke. You can definitely make it work with the close angles that you can play in all those annoying positions on the CT side. So this is something I very much support, especially if you're going to be an AWP-centric team, because realistically, you're looking at what's going to be a poor utility. I mean, that's a very bad start. There's 2 more people at ramp, though, Tim.
There is indeed. There's a whole bunch of MAC-10s here, and they've done so much damage with those nades. Here comes the grenades from the Ts, though, doing a lot more damage, and it was a very dangerous situation, but crisis averted now. It's all that's up to Jerry at ramp. FaceCrack not able to help him out just yet. FaceCrack is actually lurking through here, and he's got a MAC-10 in hand. They shouldn't know he's behind this smoke, but he'll run through, and will be given up. 2 low HP players are presented, but he can only get 1. And now Jerry couldn't quite get the kill he needed onto Davkos. That would have been one of the high HP players gone, but no luck in the end. forZe get nothing in the force buy. Team Spirit only dropped a couple SMGs, and they keep the AK.
Yeah, forZe really could have bailed themselves out. That was a clever little stack that they did towards ramps, and they really should have been able to do a whole lot more damage than that. But even with 3 or 4 players there, they just couldn't get the shots in, and a lot of those Spirit players are very, very softened up, but not able to be finished off. And now it's going to be another save out from forZe, bit of the old sort of style that we're used to seeing. But I like the way that they've chosen to spend their money so far in this game. We'll see them be able to buy up more utility and more AWPs and stuff like that into the next round. Ooh, he's on top of the door. There you go.
Instead of door stuck, it's door stack.
If only Kevin was around to hear that. R.I.P.
He's not dead.
I know, I'm getting FO with him in next week. Starting next week.
Cute.
Yeah.
Sick invite, though.
You can come.
Okay, thanks.
I won't
Appreciate
stop
it.
you.
Well, forZe with the pistols here. We've gone for a stack on this lower bomb site. So it has been where Spirit have been aiming towards. The last 2 rounds have both been, well, they've started off as ramp rushes at least. The pistol round, they flanked around back into upper and wound up completely collapsing on the CTs, but second one, ramp rush, could have been towards lower. Now coming in through secret. There's 2 pistols waiting here. 3, in fact. They peek up at the right time, but Jerry looking for a dink, not able to get it. Now the SMGs will reign supreme. XC Power found 1 on the wall. Bang. Davkos out of ammo. Bit panic, runs away, and oh my goodness, the pistol's doing a lot of damage here. It's 2 kills. A decent amount of tag onto Coley, but it's quickly traded back, so let's not get too excited here, Pilly. I'm more telling myself this than you, but hey, no gun's really recoverable, and there's the final kill for Dima.
I feel like I'm the opposite of excited, because I feel like forZe are in the perfect positions to win the round every single time with these, you know, USPs or
the stacks.
The force. The stacks are in the perfect spots every time, but they're just not even able to do that much damage. They kill like 2 Ts. When I feel like you'd see a little bit sharper of a team in those kind of positions would just be like, the round's over.
Yeah, I don't want to heap any sort of criticism on any one player, because it's tough. But like Jerry, for example, there, sitting below in the stairs, peeked up and saw the heads of 3 Ts not looking at him and only hit a couple body shots. Again, with a USP, it's very hard to make that work, but it's just one of those things where had he hit a dink or 2 there, that was either a kill or 2 players tagged down to half HP. But nonetheless, we're into a buy round now, which is more exciting. Oh. These forZe players going together with an AWP and an M4 to retake secret control.
I like this setup here.
You literally stole those words from my mouth, Pilly. Yeah. Tell me why you like it, because I was about to.
Because they're going to go for the secret control, and then the AWP is going to shoot one. They're going to try and hastily trade him, and then the M4 time. But it's not going to be the case, I don't think. It's looking like the outside smokes have been thrown, but no secret controls have been obtained, which forZe is going to be very well aware of.
Timing.
But the question is, what does Spirit do with the rest of this round? It's probably going to end up being some kind of an annex split after they throw some... Yeah, here it comes.
He's going to be in through the annex, as you said. Going into the top bomb site, they spotted out the player in heaven. They spam through the smoke, and they can't get away for it. The crossfire works out. Flit quick on the push up from behind, but will be caught out by the SMG for it. SC Power even looking for the trade, and he can't hit it. Sotfik pulls out 2 with the UMP, and gets the 3rd with the Glock as well. Massive impact made by him. Almeza will find the trade, and that keeps it in a 2 versus 2. But the T's now have all time in the world to go for the bank drop, or the vent drop even. Sometime Young is going to get denied it. So it's Davcost in the end as the dust settles. It's all into 1v2, AWP in hand. Face crack in here very quickly. Nade in hand, does a great amount of damage there. Calls out the movement perfectly. Even going to throw a flashbang. They have a real good idea of where Davcost is playing now. He's going to need to hit some sharp shots. And it's not going to be working out in the end. The CT is coming in from Megaton and from the decontamination room. We'll be able to clean that one up. And on with the 4K. Great work from him, recovering an AK-47 as well. It's a great round coming in from forZe. They retain control of that perfectly.
Yeah, but what they're not retaining control of, team, is their economy, because they're going to have to drop 2 guns over, and one guy's going to have to make do with an ump or something of that nature, whereas Spirit have a better buy than their opponents, which they just beat. Much better buy. So it's going to be very challenging little fork in the road for forZe that they're going to have to navigate. Again, they had a great setup to deal with what Spirit was throwing at them in the last round, but just the shots weren't really connecting as cleanly as they needed to. And I feel like exactly like last map, it's like they put themselves in some great situations. They have some clever little setups, but when Sotfik's able to ump 2 people and then Glock the last, it's like, you know, look at your money now, boys. That could have been very well avoided with just some sharper shooting. Easy for me to say from the casting seat. I know my aim is probably worse than every single player on forZe.
I know my aim is definitely worse than everyone's in the server. I'm not even going to throw a probably in there. It's a certainty for me, but still an unfortunate situation.
It's just a question of how clean you're getting the frags, because it's doing damage to your economy if you're not able to do it.
Exactly.
We're seeing the effects of it now.
A UMP dancing around between 3 players and managing to find all 3 is unfortunate when you're on a buy round. A very quick push in through the annex will grant Dima the entry kill. It's still in a 4 versus 4. It's still very doable for the CTs, but for now, they're on the wrong part of the map. Double molly into heaven will force out and probably kill any player who might be there. They want to go up vents here, but there's someone ready for it on the Team Spirit side.
I like that they're waiting. Oh, never mind. I really would have liked to see them wait a little bit longer for the Heaven and the lobby players to make a little bit of noise or a little bit of impact. Doesn't look like Almeza ever thought that they were going for this one.
Yeah. Ooh.
Everyone else thought they were.
Yeah, Almeza's just like, nah, I'm going to hold on to this. I'll be back here if you need me. And you won't, because I'm staying back here. But this round will be going the way of the T's. He's actually might be taken from. He's spotted Sotfik somehow, but comes out on top.
Can you ever just sit still, mate? You know what I mean? Like, do you need to be hopping up and down on the boxes there?
Do you ever change angles more than Matt's question? I don't know. I don't actually have anything that changes angles
it's 2:25 in the morning, Tim. I'll give you that one.
Thanks, man. I don't know anything that changes angles quickly.
Yeah. I mean, now it's just a very, very difficult situation for forZe. They're probably going to buy pistols around this AWP. And Spirit, they're making the best of the situation. They're on a 4-1 lead on the T side. They've broken the CT economy after the single round win. It's going to be a forced buy around the AWP. I support this decision. You're pretty cooked at this point. You're going to need some kind of a break, and you've been pretty good at reading the setups. This time, though, it's a quick one outside for Team Spirit. Perfect read of the situation. They know how cooked the economy is on forZe, and they're going to be lower before there's very many people there to deal with it. 2 people, though, already towards lower, could be making a little bit of a difference here.
A lot of flashbangs there from forZe as well. They know that the one thing that potentially goes wrong with that strat when you're doing that is getting spammed through the smokes, and they throw so many flashbangs they don't allow it. For Spirit, that's what I meant, yeah. So many flashbangs that don't even allow that spam. They're going to find the first 2 kills nice and easily. It really is just that saved AWP they need to worry about. And XC Power is trying to get involved here and help out.
Get amongst it.
Exactly that. The molly's going to be good, though. Forces him back. A couple of players hanging out in Megaton. And still, of course, that one back of sight. But Flit's going to get destroyed by Dima. Looking the right way. And that looks like it will be the save called immediately. Not even a gun for Almeza to go find. No one on his team had any better than what he currently has, with the exception of XC Power, who's still alive. And no one on the T side has gone down. So with bomb down, that will be the round going to Team Spirit once again. They've got the money to go for the hunt as well, so they should send a couple players looking for these guns. Both players will go hide in CT. So they should be able to hold on to definitely the AWP. They're just going to set up the bait and switch there. Almarza playing close with the CZ, trying to buy time for his buddy to save that big gun. But Spirit, they're up by 4 rounds on the T side of what is supposed to be a CT-sided map.
This is looking very one-sided, isn't it? And all I can think about is, can we make a Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other and one side you got Dima and the other side you got Demasic? Can we do that, Tim? Do you have the Photoshop skills required?
No, but you're never going to let me forget that one, are you? No. Just going to keep rubbing it in. Look, fair enough, I would too. I understand. 5-1 though. Team Spirit, they're looking very good on their T side here. Looking pretty organized, pretty clean. And while there will be some sort of buy gathered together by forZe here, I must have managed to find an AK there while I was looking at you making fun of me.
Pretty big difference, to be honest. Gives them a lot higher of a chance to win this round, especially with with the CZ picked up on the other person. Davcost gets picked by XC Power, who's been pretty good at predicting his movements, I have to say. In general, forZe are pretty good at predicting how some of these players are going to be moving around. Definitely very familiar with each other. I love the stacked out ramps. Beautiful little setup there between the two players. Again, it's just it's these tiny little setups that make it so much easier for forZe to win rounds. Dear Lord, this is looking like it's going from bad to worse for Spirit, but knowing them, these players have the potential to still be able to turn this round around.
And even if they don't, I mean, they've already got 5 rounds on their T side. They don't really need too many more than this to have a good T side.
It's just a bonus.
Exactly. It's just a bonus from this point.
Just a freebie.
Going to be looking for more if they can get them. I love that FaceCrack is just playing a Zeus. Who needs an actual gun when you can get a and a free gun? That's how it works. Not going to let this cast turn into imitating the Zeus noises, because otherwise we'll just do that for the next 30 rounds. But
I have a good Zeus imitation. Simple, go kill.
I know you're talking about the player. I knew that was coming. Simple, go kill. Yes. Duh. Either way, Spirit, 20 seconds left or thereabouts. Going to try and split it on this bomb site through Annex and through Heaven. It's actually a pretty good crossfire if they can find their way in. Jerry spots it, but doesn't know there's a player above him. That will be the first kill going their way. This could fall apart very, very quickly, and it has. Sumdai Young finds 2. That'll be the bomb down and planted for the T's just in time. They've still got 2 smokes and a couple nades as well to go along with it. That'll buy them some time, but Sumdai Young throws out from Heaven. Kohler doesn't even want to peek this. Got the smoke to lock it down now. And these CTs only have the 1 kit between 2 of them. Flit has no armor. He started this round with just the CZ in hand, playing at ramp. And the T's are in a great position to hold this. You said that they could turn it around. You said these players were certainly good enough, and they've done it. Coldy and Sumdai Young with the 2 versus 4.
Why on earth have they gone for that, though? Look at the money on Jerry and Flit and FaceCrack. Like, boys, you actually needed those guns. Like, that was not a high percentage retake. I know you felt like you're in the 4-on-2 and you always should have won that round, but as soon as you smoked out Hut and Annex, you just, you needed that money. Look at you, your weapons. You don't even have grenades.
Yeah, it's kind of like an ego thing where you're like, oh, we're up 4v2. We can still win this, but at some point you've got to say, all right, got to cut our losses here, guys. We had a good situation, but we've lost it now. Lots of flashbangs out and away. That'll allow a few picks, but the CTs keep it even at least. That's a good grenade, but won't quite do enough damage. Sodvik looking for this player down low. Knows that he's low on HP, but there's the trade immediately. But again, Dima strikes back, and now it's Jerry flanking behind them in the 1 versus 2. He's found the space to work with, and we'll hear this bomb going down. No one actually looking at Hut just yet, so we can go out and drop this bomb, and he will catch Dima out. Now he's going to look for Davcost as well, who is just on the pistol, but he's still going to hit the shot. There's no armor behind it, or no head armor at least. No helmet for Jerry. 7-1 now. Team Spirit looking far too good on their T side here. 7 rounds already on T. This is more than enough at this point. See if forZe have got any sort of answer for us here on the remainder of their CT side, but they've been getting pumped. Their money's been in the bin for pretty much the entire half. Some of that is their own fault, going for these low percentage plays with the only guns they have left. But regardless, not going to heap a pile of criticism on now. Instead, we're just going to talk about what we actually have in front of us, which is the CZs. P250, single 5-7, couple nades. Team Spirit, though, have been really good on their T side of just playing these slow rounds out, getting some map control, getting some info, and giving forZe just enough rope to hang themselves with. Sotvic already down through Secret. Jerry has an inkling, knows that he's close, and won't quite win the fight with the CZ, but does more damage and actually stays alive. Goes back with perfect timing. Catches Sotvic with the nade out. It's only a Mach 10, so it's not much, but it's better than nothing. And now the execute coming into this A bomb site. Face crack here. Gonna get the flashbang out, try and make the space for himself to move, but already his teammate's starting to fall. Dances out of the molly. Some die young with a very quick 3. Demon will go down, but Dabcost hiding in the corner finds Jerry. And it's Some Die Young with a 4K on the anti-force by 8 rounds for Team Spirit. Now they've won the half and they're showing no signs of stopping on T side. Nuke no less. It's looking not good for the CT side here. They'll get a bye together, but it's going to be scrappy.
I think it's the nightmare scenario where they've just been out-vetoed by the other team. Doesn't always happen that way. I mean, recently we casted in Brisbane with the domestic competition over there where Chiefs got a bit out-vetoed by Greyhound. They're still able to make it work, but unfortunately not the case this time for these boys.
Yeah, it's always the problem when your opponent has 2 really good maps that you're not strong on.
Yeah.
You can only get rid of one of them, so you got to say, right, which is the lesser of 2 evils? Which one do we play here? Between Nuke and Cache was the choice for forZe, and they chose to play Nuke. It's not working out well for them, but again, not a whole lot they could do. They had to take one of these maps that are less advantageous even for them. And they chose to go with Nuke in the end. They do still have the guns out here, but the utility is limited. No kits, or really the 1 kit either. So while XC Power will find the first kill, he's still got to feel pretty good for Team Spirit's chances in here. That's a great grenade, just 1 HP left. And XC Power, he thought he actually killed himself dropping down there. He didn't, went for the slide, but the frags were picked up either way. And there's an incredibly quick 4-piece for the members of Team Spirit who are currently upstanding. It's Jerry, 1 versus 4. $0 in his bank account, $0 for face crack. Everyone else on less than 300. It's got to be a save at this point. Hold on to what you've got. There's just so little chance of getting back into this, and the T's have money for days. It's not even worth trying to do damage at this point. Any kill you can get, sure, go for it, but it's not going to alter the course of this game at all. And while Jerry will make it into CT, I'm not sure they'll let him stay there. Looking like they want to go for this hunt already. And Sotvic with an incredibly quick headshot to close it. 9 rounds for Spirit. And this map looking very shaky indeed. Already perhaps in its final moments. I know we're only 10 rounds in, but it's feeling like a bit of an inevitability unless this tack pause for forZe lets them work out some sort of setup, some sort of strat. But at this point, I mean, the setups haven't been too bad for them. It's pretty much just that they're not finding all the shots they need to. It's they're going for these questionable retakes in the situations where they probably would be better off with more money, and then when they don't have the money, they don't have the guns, they've got the pistols. There's so little you can do against the T side who are hitting their shots like Team Spirit currently are.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just the individual skill and the familiarity with the map, coupled with, you know, forZe not making the best of some good decisions that they're making, and then also making some questionable decisions on top of that. It's going to be a bit of a half buy out from them. We'll see if they can make that work with the UMPs and the pistols, but I mean, they're really not having too much luck with the full buys where they have utility in the AWPs and stuff like that, so still don't have high hopes for this round. Plus, I feel like Spirit can definitely be a momentum-based team, and when they get rolling, they're extremely hard to stop. Some of these players, when they get the confidence flowing, best of luck winning the map.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of an unlucky situation for them at this point. Team Spirit already with a whole bunch of control in outers. XC Power, though, will get the Deagle working out with the second board headshot. The trade, though, there immediately for the Sotvic. Does get tagged once, but brings it back into a 4v4, and that favors the T's. Even in a full buy situation, that favors the T's. They can run into a bomb site and get a 4v2 or 3 usually, but especially when you're up against pistols, they've got to be feeling pretty good about their chances here.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 4-on-3. Davkos is going to pick Mesa on the heaven position. Jerry's stuck unders, and unfortunately, once you get into this part of the round, T's versus CTs, CTs are always just split up in all different positions. You have to have people unders, you have to have people in uppers, and usually you're going to have to try to take some kind of a risk. You see them trying to push lobby there. Sometimes you also stack, but the T's can go all together. The CTs have to hold a little bit of everything or take a bit of a gamble. So unless the gamble works out, which in this case it definitely hasn't, then the T's are usually going to win those disadvantageous situations or even situations in the mid-round and stuff like that. 10-1 for Spirit. Now, a little bit more money for the CTs to work with. They'll be able to buy up the utility. It's going to be another AWP for XC Power, but he hasn't been able to find much impact with it. Most of the time he's been playing Save Strike, which is, you know, it is what it is. Can be kind of the case on Nuke sometimes. Can be hard to find those mid-round angles with the AWP. So, let's see what Spirit's going to be getting up to in this round. It's going to be the close smoke for the AWP to peek over. No committal of the wall of smokes on outers. Just yet. Again, XC Power heading down into lowers to see if he can pick any of these Ts. Here's the wall of smokes. You see popularized a lot by Astralis from the close angles. You're going to be sending your boy over on T-Red there into secret or wherever he feels like going this time.
This way.
This would usually be Glaive just running around looking for info, then Dupree and whoever else throw their smokes, wall of smokes for your boy, and then you break down the round from there. This time they're going to go for the contact ramp to add an extra little arm to that push.
If you're going to steal nuke strats from anyone, Astralis is the way to go. They're currently like 1 billion and 0 on that map. They're just, no one beats them on it. I think they are actually like 20 and 0 or something on LAN in recent times. So
that's the approach I've usually gone for, but it can be
nick
quite...
stuff from the best team in the world.
Well, yeah, Astralis is actually pretty hard to copy because they do actually anti-strat quite a lot and they change things up on the fly pretty often. So
yeah, the mid-round calls
a lot of the time, like you can look at an Astralis demo. I've looked at a full 30-rounder from Astralis plenty of times and be like, I learned nothing from this because
I don't know what they did.
None of this applies to my, you know, crappy Division 2 game in Australia.
Exactly, that's the other thing. Either way, Astralis aside, we're looking at some considerably less European games here, but skill's still up there as well. The T is just destroying forZe at every angle. There's FaceCrack with one at least.
Yeah, they came into that one with 20 seconds and they still make it work. The entry is just...
is some of the worst timing I've ever seen. He hits a nice quick shot though. It's 2v2. This is actually doable for them now. They're going to go for this retake, but Coldy just like that strikes back. XC Power going to get overrun as well. Davcost not even bothering with the AWP. When you got a pistol, who really cares? Once again, that money is in the bin. Somehow, well, I know exactly how. I'm not going to say somehow, but it makes it more dramatic to say somehow if forZe have lost 11 rounds and still have no money, but it's because of these retakes, it's because of these force buys they get nothing out of. They're just, everything they put their money into, they get almost no returns on. It's just terrible investing.
Talk about team spirit, by the way. They've all got 10 or 11 kills. That's
some real team spirit.
Yeah, that's the team spirit that you want to be seeing. The team effort.
FaceCrack sitting in lobby, just please, come this way. I want to get kills. I have a shotgun, but instead Team Spirit going for the outers play. I know they've got the long range advantage and the power advantage with the guns that they have, so they're trying to bring that one into play. forZe do have a lot of players waiting out here, but I doubt Team Spirit will be undone by this. They should be able to get these trade frags happening with all of these guns that are ready. And while they are in the 4 versus 4 with a HP disadvantage, they have a massive weapon advantage, so should be pretty good to get back into this round.
I like this from Spirit, just going together, applying a pressure to one part of the map and then moving over to a different one. They'll know that forZe, they're going to have to move around quite a lot. They're going to have to make pushes for information because it's the same thing always on Nuke. You can't just sit in your little stack setup forever. The Ts have so many options open to them in the mid-round, less so in the early round.
FaceCrack's in a position where if these guys come his way, he could one-shot all of them, but they've chosen correctly. They're going to go to ramp instead. It's only Flit over here. He's done good work with the CZ here before. A couple kills, couple dinks, but surely this time he'll be able to get overrun. Peeks up, takes no damage, has to fall. He's going to run away with a lot of very angry Ts on his tail. FaceCrack immediately goes for the push through behind, but they're going to get away from him very quickly indeed. Flit does great work though, spraying down 2 with the CZ, and he will try to go get a gun. Can't do it, but he's buying so much time for FaceCrack with the shotgun. And there's the double kill. Finally for forZe. They managed to get something on the board. They've got some money in the hands of FaceCrack with those shotgun plays. Flip with the CZ plays the patience game perfectly, but Team Spirit still have 11 rounds on the T side. They've got all the money in the world to buy back in. We can't really be too excited for forZe here, but a round is better than nothing.
But that's not like any kind of... that doesn't fill me with a whole lot of confidence for the rest of the game. That's just one of those, you know...
hey, it worked. Good job. That's the one time it will for that thing.
Yeah, this round win means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things because we're still broke. Team Spirit's got a ton of money, and we didn't actually employ any kind of strategies to kind of win that one. We just
we got lucky with a CZ spray, and then we had a shotgun flank them. It wasn't like some grand
it was more
strategic.
Like, more than anything, it was kind of like Spirit just being like, whatever, we're up 11-1. There we go. That's XE Power making some impact that we have yet to see.
Oh, Sophic takes 1 tick of damage from the Molly, which might give away his presence. Flit has been doing pretty consistently good damage here at ramp, even with multiple players running at him. He's going to get another one here. Tries to get more, but will get overrun. Sopfic's fast down through Secret. They know he's coming. He's throwing some util, but he's looking for that headshot and can't quite find it.
Yeah, don't try that one at home, kids. Even if Sophic does hit that shot, not the best angle to be taking. Dear God, Davkos, what a flick from the lad. Now, this is going to be very hard for Tees to hold. They don't have decon, they don't have windows. They just took windows, so they have one arm of this, but the CTs have Megaton and they're coming in from decon, so...
Early Molly, that means it can't go on to bomb, and if Somedayon could have got his gun out, then maybe there was a chance for that, but there's the smokes onto the bomb all over the site. This is such a difficult thing for him to win now. The spray is good, but it gives away his location. Going to go to the M4, try and spray down that planner. He's just off target. Can't quite hit it. It was a 10-second defuse, but unfortunately for the Tees, it will be recovered even by FaceCrack. Gets forZe to a 3rd round. Even with the guns that they save, their money's still not great, but it's good enough now. They'll be able to get good buy through in the last round of the half. Finally, they'll get the drops out. They'll get the utility. It's still, I think, a bit too far gone. It's going to be an 11-4 half at worst for Team Spirit on their T side.
That's how that lowers sort of post-plant usually goes. If the Ts only have one of the areas and the CTs have everything else, they're usually not going to win because it takes usually a misplay for the CTs coming in on the retake if they only have to deal with those Ts at one of the angles being windows in that sort of scenario. Where some T just gets a ridiculous spray down or shoots someone through smoke or something like that. But if you don't have control of multiple different angles to be able to crossfire from on that lower bomb side as the Ts, you're usually not winning that one. So, fair game to forZe. Good little retake from them, but they're very capped out at what they can do in this half. Like, it's 4 max, and let's be real, that's just not good enough, especially when Spirit are now heading into their CT side on their map pick, and you've got to go through it. Navigate your way through a T side of Nuke where the pistol's a must-win. And
Sotfix found his way all the way into vents through Secret as well. That wasn't a fast vent drop through A. He went the long way to get here, and he's in a position where Jerry's looking for him to be walking in, but he's going to get completely undone. There's the first couple kills coming in for Team Spirit. They bring it into a 2 versus 4. They've taken a lot of damage, but that nade's going to do good damage onto both remaining players who are both chilling out in heaven. Bomb going to be planted on the upper bomb site. There's a ton of util. There's a flanking outers. Spirit have all of the locations that they need. Sotfic's been all the way down through Secret. Now he's still chilling. They have no idea he's here. There's the peak perfectly timed. Gets the first easy spray down. They know the other one's heaven, and it's not quite the easy closeout yet. Flit's trying, but it's Davkost to get the final frag. 12-3 on the T side. I'm not filled with confidence for forZe, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely not. Unfortunately, we're just seeing Spirit being a little bit higher caliber in terms of the map pool, having a few more maps that they can pull out, such as Nuke, to be able to put forZe in a pretty precarious position in terms of not having the depth enough to be able to challenge a team like Spirit. I feel like between these two teams, if you ended up on maps that forZe were all good at, they could easily take out a team like Spirit. They've got, when they know what they're doing, and you know, when they're playing a map like Mirage, or I feel like they'd have a good shot at Inferno or something like that as well. I feel like they could definitely take Spirit in a best of 3, but as it stands at the moment, you know, if Spirit's able to just pocket pick Nuke or force them into an annoying situation in the veto like this, then I don't know how they're going to be able to ever win a best of 3 against Spirit. And unfortunately, that can kind of be the problem, you know. When you go down the power rankings of any kind of region, you always have teams like forZe who can win the best of 1s, and then sometimes when it comes down to the best of 3s, unless the map pools are very similar, then they're just not going to be able to win. Sort of a stage we already went through in the Oceanic scene where I feel like Tainted kind of started playing Nuke and they forced everybody else. Oh, it was the Chiefs. I think it was Chiefs.
Chiefs were the first ones to really adopt Nuke.
Forced everybody to start playing Nuke. So, I mean, maybe that's something that really hasn't happened too much in CIS. Or...
Well, I mean, all of the top 4 teams in OS can pretty much play Nuke now. At least
a bit.
Well, they have to. But that aside, we're not talking about OCE at the moment because everyone's asleep. Going to talk about the game. It's actually in front of us. Team Spirit looking very good here so far on Nuke. 12 rounds on the T side, heading into the preferred side on this map. And got to remind all of you watching at home that this is the upper bracket of the qualifier. So forZe, they aren't out if they lose this game. They've still got a chance of going to the minor, but Team Spirit will put themselves into the minor with this win. If they can get this map number 2, which they're looking pretty good for, the pistol round going very well for them. FaceCrack tries to run away, but there's nowhere to run. That's an incredibly clean shutout from Team Spirit. They didn't need anything. They just clicked on all the heads required. 3 rounds to go, and they'll be playing at the CIS Minor in Katowice.
And that's what you'd really expect from the CIS qualifier. You'd expect a team like Spirit and Gambit to be shoo-ins to just head through the upper bracket and easily be able to secure their spots. And then from there, you'd really have to start to have a bit of a back and forth about who's going to be able to take out who and who's going to be grabbing some of those spots, because there is a lot of slots for this CIS minor to go through from the qualifier.
Is one player with the bomb down secret alone?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Fair enough. He's going to come back out and try and trade out some of these Ts, but Davkos is being fed frags.
Good old unintentional totem pole. Works out beautifully.
Calculated, mate. Calculated.
Yep, definitely. What a time to pull it out as well. Down 13-3.
Guys, 13-3. Quick. Hit him with the totem pole. They'll never see it coming. But it is just Glocks here for everyone. Well, I lie. FaceCrack's got a deagle, but some Die Young is just hoping for money.
He's got an XM. He doesn't have a Glock.
Well,
be pretty impressive if
I feel like context implied that I meant that forZe only had Glocks. Pilipowski.
Sorry, I'm bad at reading this scenario. I'm bad at reading conversation.
I love it. It's not even the game you're talking about. It's just socially sitting next to me. You're just like, nah, can't do it.
Sorry.
Looks like forZe also having a bit of a can't do it so far this map. It's just been rough for them. And, I mean, it's really just been Spirit being better. Everything they've tried, they've just been wrecked. Really, I feel like is the fair way of putting it. The retakes haven't been going their way. The post-plan situations from Spirit have been largely flawless. The pistol round was a complete shutout for Spirit. I'm not sure they even took a single point of damage closing that one out. Sotvic hitting shots like that as well isn't going to help. Well, that ragdoll I feel like sums up this game pretty well. Straight in its face.
Some of these Spirit players have got to be so tilting to play against, because I feel like they're so sharp. Like you end up on their screen and you're just dead. Like,
Yeah, like, that's
that's
such an annoying game
in our
to lose
region,
there.
right? In our region, there's only a couple of players that can do that to you. But when you play against, I feel like the entire Spirit team, it's like, I'm on your screen, they have the ability to just 1v you. And it's just like, that's got to be so terrifying when they're on their game to just have to deal with that. And that's how you end up in this kind of situation, I feel like.
Yeah, I remember after IEM Sydney last year, Tux was saying that about playing against Australis. It was just everything you do. You shoulder peek a corner and Dupree 1-digs you. You try and run out mid and device AWPs you. There's just nothing you can do. You just get destroyed. And so far, it is Spirit doing the destroying this time. forZe have the AKs in hand, but limited utility to back it up. And while it's a bit of a mixed buy for the CTs, they've got so much to work with. Some Die Young with the XM tries to make a play and will be destroyed by XC Power. Demo has a good hold on ramp here. And even if forZe win this, it's the first round in a very, very long way back into this game for them. Even if they can make it through here, they've got so much more work to do. They've got to make it all the way through map 3 as well to have a chance of going through to the minor here.
Yeah, look, that's going to take some serious stamina. 2 more picks going the way of Spirit after losing the initial one is going to make it a lot harder for forZe. But I'd say in terms of maps, when the man advantage gets a little bit scrappy, you're talking about your 4-on-3s, your 3-on-3s, it's actually not that unfavourable for the Ts if they make some good moves, and already you're seeing that. All of these CTs are very split up because it's awkward to hold off all the different angles that you have to do. So yeah, that's why you see so many 1v1s coming out this round getting a little bit scrappy, but because forZe are on the T side, they're able to dictate the pace of the round and choose when the engagements can happen. Whereas the Spirit players have to be a little bit more sneaky.
FaceCrack has a fabulous position here. There's no way that Dim is checking this, and that's the easiest frag of his life. Leaves it all up to Coldy now, and he's running straight into the crosshair of Flit.
I'd actually love to see the stats on like 3-on-4 wins and stuff like that for Ts on this map. Because I feel like very few other maps, it's as easy for Ts to just be like, I'm going to find this one-on-one against the CT. Because, yeah, you have to either leave stuff open, or you have to play very individualistic and hope that you don't get checked on the right angles. It's going to be a save for Spirit, so that's going to buffer forZe's round score. really all that the numbers next to forZe's name really mean at this point is how bad you feel once the game's over.
Yeah, that's true. If they can at least get a few more rounds here and get some confidence rolling, then
can help
maybe
there
you feel
for their
better.
lower bracket game or whatever they're going into.
Yeah, I think that'll be the way. They'll go into the lower bracket from here, but you know, at least they've got a few players starting to show up and hit shots here. Sunday Young has a pretty nice line, but the timing is awful. That's some classic Counter-Strike for you there. Can't tell you how many times I've done that. You get off the angle, you're just like, oh, game, please.
Tell you what makes you feel better about it.
What?
When you're about to go to the minor. That should probably make you feel a bit better.
That's true, exactly. You're just like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. We got him soon.
Man, he's got headshot through the railing. His entire body just transcended time and space.
Is that how railings work?
Yeah.
Good to know.
Haven't you held a railing down an escalator before?
And transcended time and space?
Yeah.
Not recently.
Really?
No. It's normally I find that the hand things on escalators go faster than the rest of the escalators. It's really annoying. You'll just be gradually leaning forward. But that aside, let's talk about some Counter-Strike again, Mitch. Got the buy coming through for Team Spirit here. Dabcost onto the AWP, limited utility.
They have enough utility to be able to stop the rushes at least. Not that that's really been a problem or something that forZe's been throwing at them very much. It's been pretty slow play from forZe, and I feel like they've been gifted a lot by Spirit, being punished for their aggression and just trying to close out the game, which really begs the question of what happened once your boys on forZe have to play a little bit further into the late round. I mean, they were able to close that 3-on-4 with a pretty decent decision to head into uppers, but what happens when they lose man advantage, or what happens when they have to make a decision as 5? We'll see if they're able to break down the round as cleanly.
So Pick is going to be the first point of contact here, holding a good angle.
Caution
Aware
the
of
lift trucks.
forklift trucks, yeah.
Yep.
That's what as well. That would have been a spicy little wallbang. They're going to be throwing the outside execute here. Sotfik not going to be able to stop it. It will be the wall of smokes by the looks of things. Davkos is aligning it for now, but should be smoked off in a couple seconds once they land, and there you go. Not too much that anyone can actually do about this now, but the CT's immediately going to send more players down to lower.
It's the correct decision as well. I mean, Sotfik's not going to be able to hear too many of these footsteps
They're
just
going slowly.
yet. This is going to be very brutal for forZe to deal with. Dima's put himself in a very good position. There's another player down in lower as well, I think, with him. And not only that, they can have the flank so quickly. Oh, no, he's the only solo down there. Sotfik can go for the flank pretty quick, though, on that lower bomb site. Question is, how much space can Dima create and how many kills can he get on these lower players? 15
seconds left. All he has to do is deny this plant. There's one kill going his way.
The bomb as
That's
well.
the bomb down as well. 10 seconds. They've got to find this frag, and they haven't. Dima's won the round pretty much by himself here. 5 seconds. No time to plant. That's not going to happen. There just isn't. The T's have lost it. Unfortunately, there's nothing they can do about it. Flit tries to put the bomb down, but that is going to be 15 on the board. Flitz almost gets killed by his teammate, shutting the door in there as well, but the CTs won't peek it in time. Nonetheless, that's 2 players with no money. They can't even drop because they get nothing from being alive at the end of the round.
It's like something straight out of The Walking Dead where they just shut the door. They're like, no, can't wait for you, sorry.
No hurdle
Even if
today.
you did make it there in time, just getting eaten anyway. And then he doesn't. And the round ends, and they head back to spawn and start again.
So the Walking Dead analogy does kind of fall flat. There's no respawns, and well, it's kind of anyway.
It's Left 4 Dead, whatever.
You said
Same
Walking
thing.
Dead.
Oh my God,
I don't know what
Spirit.
you meant.
He actually get. I mean, Dima he actually gets full white, and they get full ramp control. But the question is, like, these CTs are going to be able to take windows and decon. They only have Megaton at this point, and it's really going to be up to this lurk player. I think it's face crack towards outside.
Timing.
He needs to make impact on the other side of the map because you're already seeing SDY. He's got full windows. They have no control of anything except for Megaton, and that's not good enough to be able to make this round work. Now they've lost the extra arm to the push. They're just getting shot from every angle. SDY's just jumping around everywhere. You can't just rush ramp and try to go lower.
No, it's not a thing that's going to work out, and unfortunately for forZe, they've found that out the hard way. It's left up to Flit to 1 versus 5 here.
Needs to lift.
Needs to lift. Flit needs to lift. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do that one. Does have plenty of time with the bomb on his back, but only 2 flashbangs to work with. And even if he gets this one, it's still only a chance for his team to stay alive. It's not a win, but in the end, he will be run over. Some Young will find the final frag and the qualifying spot for Team Spirit. They're going through to the CIS Minor in Katowice.
Yep, and it's not too far out of the realm of expectation. Definitely one of the stronger teams in the region, but forZe gave them a run for their money on Mirage. Looked like a fantastic shot at actually being able to get into the series a little bit more, but just falling flat at the last moment and unfortunately losing it a little bit, it seemed, in the veto. Maybe if they head down into the lower bracket and come up against a team that can't sort of use that veto advantage against them, has to play them on some of the maps that they're more familiar with, maybe they can have a little bit better of a chance to head through to the minor.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there was certainly good signs from forZe on map number 1. Map 2 was a bit of a whitewash, but when you get 12-3, or 3-12 even, I should say, on your CT side, on a map like Nuke, there's really not much you can do, and Spirit just looked so much more in control of that one. So there was still good signs from forZe in Mirage, on Mirage at least. We certainly saw, despite them losing the first half 10-5, they had a great comeback to come back into it. They're not out of this qualifier yet. Well, statistically, they're still in it, and I don't think they're out of it in terms of mentality either. They were certainly playing well. There were some good moments for them. I think they can do well and maybe make it through to the minor up against some teams who aren't Team Spirit, but not the case in this matchup.
Yep, so we got another game coming up. It's going to be looking at our boys over on Windstrike, which should be fairly interesting. A team that's been a shoe-in at the major a couple times now, but now they're going to have to make their way through the minor qualifier. We'll see if they'll be able to do that right after this short break.